Hello Aquarius, and welcome to my channel Tarot by Gabrielle. This is going to be a general reading for Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs, looking at your recent past, your current energy, and your immediate future, answering the question, what do you need to know right now in order to move forward in alignment with your higher self to ultimately create the life that you desire and deserve? As I do in all of my readings, I pulled the overall energy and clarified those messages, as well as the overall theme for the reading, which we'll jump into in just a second. But I still have the tarot deck we'll be using, the clarification deck, and the advice deck I'll be pulling from to close out the reading in the extended. Any information on the extended reading or on booking a personal reading with me is in the description box below. Last thing, please remember that these are general readings. They are not here to resonate fully for everyone, and they won't resonate fully for everyone. So please do remember to take what does resonate and helps and just leave the rest. All right, let's jump on in here, Aquarius. In your recent past, you have intuition with the Fool. Whether or not you've realized it, you've been receiving quite a few intuitive messages, both in your past energy and in your current energy, in regard to some sort of new beginning here in your life. I don't know what this new beginning is, but I know that it's one that you very much want, because as we see when we get to your future energy, it's very much in alignment with you. However, I don't know if you've been picking up on those intuitive messages as of your past. But right now in your current energy, because you have watched for signs with the Hermit, right now is a time to really try to hone in to your connection with yourself, your connection with spirit, the universe, God, your higher self, whatever resonates with you, because you're receiving signs towards something. I don't know what this is about. I don't know where this is taking you. I know it's taking you to somewhere good, but I don't know specifically like what you're needing to do. But I do definitely feel as if you are being super heavily guided right now, in some way, shape, or form. Now, in your immediate future, you have protection with the Two of Wands. As you move forward on your path, what you need to know is that this whole reading with intuition, watch for signs, and protection is really, the overall energy is very much talking about how guided and protected you are as you walk your path and as you're moving forward. Now, a lot of times what that looks like is when things aren't going according to plan, we think that things are falling apart. The universe wants you to know if things haven't gone according to your plan, it's because they're going according to a better plan for you, that there's better outcomes than the ones that you were desiring that didn't happen. And so what you need to know is, as you kind of continue to walk this path, the more that you work on your connection with yourself, your connection with the universe, the more that you are going to start to uncover signs that are going to point you in the direction of where you're trying to go. Because right now, I feel like you're in between this kind of phase of, well, things didn't work out the way that I want, now I don't really know where to go, or you're starting something new and you're feeling really nervous about it. Either way, you need to know that everything is going to work out exactly as it needs to for you to get to where you want to be in the end. So that is that's the ultimate truth, I feel like, coming through in this reading. Oh, dog hair in my eye. Granted, I feel like I always have a dog hair in my eye. But the overall theme of this reading is power. So you are more powerful than you think. You are more capable than you think. You are, so much more than you have been limiting yourself to. And I feel one of the things that I've learned on my personal journey is that our power isn't about what we can control in terms of outside of us. It's not controlling other people. It's not controlling outcomes or manipulating situations. Where it is coming from is this belief that we are guided and we are protected and everything is working out for our highest good. And the more that we believe in that, the more we actually start to experience that. So your power doesn't come from anything outside of you. It comes from within here. This is a very spiritual reading, which I love, because spiritual coaching is like my bread and butter. That's what I love to do. And I feel like in this reading in particular, it's kind of saying, yeah, there might be things that you want, right? You want to accomplish certain things in your career, or you want to attract certain relationships into your life, and all of those things are possible. But in order to achieve those things, here are the steps that you need to take within, because as the saying goes, it's as above, so below, as within, so without. We have to make sure that we are kind of shifting our inner environment to align with the life that we desire, instead of trying to outwardly force the life that we desire, thinking that it's going to fix us on the inside, because that's not the way that it works. But let's jump in here. That's just the overall energy. So let's jump into this story. Looking at Aquarius's recent past, what do you guys need to know regarding your recent past? A lot of chasing going on in your recent past. A lot of anxiety too. I feel like there was this energy of trying to force something, some relationship, a job, or something that just wasn't working out. It wasn't aligning with what you had in mind. And I feel like you gave a lot to it, but it just felt like it just was not coming to fruition. Now, with this Nine of Swords, I feel like that brought on a lot of anxiety for you because you were coming from this place of, oh, this isn't working out, this relationship isn't working out, therefore I'm never going to have the love that I desire. This job isn't working out, therefore I'm not going to have the money that I need. When the universe is trying to tell you that that's not true, you might have just been looking for the things that you desired in the wrong places or going about it the wrong way. Not to say that you've made a mistake and you've ruined your opportunity, okay? That's not at all what I'm saying, because remember, your path is protected. Your path to the life of your dreams is yours. Nobody can ruin it. Nobody can stand in the way of it. Nobody's in control of it but you. However, we have to kind of learn to align with it before it can start to appear. And oftentimes we don't realize how we're out of alignment with it when we are trying to force. When we're trying to, burn ourselves out or overgive in a relationship, all of those things that we do are in our mind a way of maintaining our control of the outcomes. We can say, as long as I'm doing this, then XYZ is going to happen, but then it doesn't happen, right? Which makes us start to feel like it's never going to happen. When your control doesn't work, you start to get in your head that you're never going to get what you want. When in reality, the universe isn't asking you to try harder, to be better. Sometimes the universe will ask you to grow, but it's not that the universe is asking you to be more than you are. It's really asking you to kind of surrender to something bigger than you. And I feel like that's a lot of what this reading is about. Recent past for Aquarius. I want it. That would have been too many, but okay. I was going to say I want it to turn all the way around or hit the table. 7 of Pentacles, 2 of Swords in reverse. And then the 2 of Wands in reverse. The 2 of Swords in reverse can be like this energy of knowing that you need to make a decision or knowing that something needs to change or knowing that you need to, do something, but kind of like putting it off or not making it, that saying, it's like what you're not changing, you're choosing. And that, I think that that's really difficult because a lot of times we settle for less than what we deserve and desire because we think that that's as good as it can get. So we stay in places where we're not valued or where we don't belong because in our minds we think if I don't have this then I have nothing. When in reality, this thing that I feel like you were investing in, this path, because that you have the 2 of Wands in reverse. Whatever this was in an alignment with you. And I feel like it still isn't. And so that's why there was something that wasn't working. Like regardless of your effort, regardless of how hard you tried or how hard you worked, like something was just not working. And that's literally because it wasn't meant for you in the long run. Now, does that mean that it didn't play a role in your life? Absolutely not. I feel like whatever the situation was necessary to get you to a certain level of growth, of, maybe spiritual connection and all, whatever it was, it had to happen to get you to this next phase of your life. But I do very much feel as if what you're needing to understand is things didn't work out, not because you can't have what you want, but because these situations, these people didn't align with your highest good, which ultimately what that means is they didn't have the capability to be what it is that you ultimately deserve. It doesn't mean like you can't have anything, like whatever is for your highest good is going to be less than that or less fulfilling. That's not what I'm saying. It's that these situations didn't have the ability to be what it is that you ultimately deserved, which is why because the universe won't let us settle where we're not meant to settle. The universe will always throw tower moments our way until we move in the direction of what's best for us. And when things fall apart, it's often so that better things can take place or that we can rebuild them the right way. So something of that nature here, because yeah, you had the Wheel of Fortune upright. Whatever's happening here, it might not feel like it, but it's almost like the wheel is spinning in your favor. This is moving you toward your highest good, towards your desires, not away from them, which is maybe what it feels like. Okay. Sometimes when something is as good as it's ever been, we get into our head that it's as good as it can get. I feel like that has to do with the situation with what you were dealing with. Like in your head, maybe you're like, well, that's the most I've ever felt for another person, or that's the happiest I've ever been, or that's the most money I've ever made. And like in your mind, you're thinking, since that didn't work out, it's only going to be worse than that because that's as good as it could have gotten for me. And the universe is saying it's actually quite the opposite of that. Just because something is as good as it's ever been does not mean it's as good as it can get. In your mind it is, because we have a tendency to view our future and limit our experiences to what we have experienced. So we think, we look at our past experiences and the ones that weren't so great, that didn't make us feel so happy. And then we look at the experiences when we felt happier and we think, oh, well, if that's the happiest I ever felt, or if that's the most joy or peace that I've ever had, and that fell apart, that means that nothing better is ever going to take its place. And the universe wants you to know that that is absolutely not true. In fact, I actually feel like you're intuitively being moved to something better, but your control with the Emperor in reverse has been getting in the way because you've been holding on, or were holding on for a while, to things that weren't aligning with as good as it could get because you thought it was as good as it could get. And that's what the universe wants you to know through this reading, is that what you had and how it unfolded and the way that it didn't work out, that does not mean that what's ahead of you is going to be worse than that. I was in a place in my life for a really long time where this relationship that I really, really wanted to work out didn't. I believed this person was my twin flame. I was like, oh, they're the love of my life. And if I can't be with them, like, I don't want to be with anyone because I'm never going to be as happy as I could have been in that relationship. And I literally couldn't have been more wrong. Some of God's greatest gifts, guys, are unanswered prayers. And sometimes when things don't go according to our plan, it's because there's something so much better that's available for us that we might not even realize is available for us. So much of the time we limit ourselves to what we think that we want based on as good as we think it can get. When in reality, the universe is saying, listen, it can get so much better than this. You just need to open your heart and mind to the guidance toward it, which is what your current energy is about. Looking for signs, looking for guidance toward better situations. Current energy for Aquarius, watch for signs with the Hermit here. Your power doesn't come from making things happen. Your power comes from knowing that you are deserving and lovable and capable, so much so to the extent that you know that the universe is supporting you on the path to those things. So that no matter what happens, you're okay to go with the flow because you know that things are working out for your highest good, even if they're not going according to your plan. That's where your power lies. That's where peace lies. That's where freedom lies. That's where abundance lies. That's what the key to manifestation is it's getting to this place of saying, I know that I can have these things because I'm deserving, capable, lovable, whatever the case is. Therefore, I know that the universe is supporting me on the path to them. When we don't have those beliefs, what we do is we take something that is either as good as we think it can get or something that's like good enough, and then we try to change it. We try to force it. We try to make it better. We try to teach this person that we're valuable so that they treat us better. We try to overwork ourselves into the ground for a job that doesn't respect us, thinking that we can show our value if we work hard enough. And when that never happens, we start to feel like we're not enough, when in reality, it's not that we're not enough. It's that you've been taught to be in situations that don't align with your worth, thinking that that's as good as it can get. Okay, current energy here for Aquarius. All right, Aquarius. I don't think a lot of people are going to want to hear this message. So I want you to bear with me here. The universe wants you to take a good, hard, long, honest look at your own self-sabotage. Now, self-sabotage can appear in many different forms. It can obviously appear in, investing your energy in not so good habits and, not so good, maybe addictions, distractions. It can also appear in the form of not trying new things, not putting yourself out there, not taking steps towards your dreams. It can come in the form of choosing the easy path. It can come in the form of choosing to repeat old patterns. There's a little bit of self-sabotage going on in your current energy. And I feel like I don't want you to look at this message as a way of saying like, wow, Aquarius, you're screwing everything up. Like, how dare you do these things? No. Sometimes we self-sabotage to protect ourselves. Our worst habits, the reason that we have those is because on some level we are trying to keep ourselves safe. We're trying to feel safe in some way, shape, or form. So this is not a message to add shame to anything. This is a message of honesty, which if you watch my channel and ultimately just kind of know me as a person, you know that that's my ultimate goal to say, and this is my goal with myself too. There have been plenty of times I've had to take a look at my own self-sabotage. And in the past, my self-sabotage was, just kind of the normal things, like being so afraid of success that I didn't even try, pushing away people who loved me, chasing people who didn't, things of that nature, repeating old cycles, blah, 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 blah. In more recent years, my self-sabotage has been having to overcome this like instinct to sabotage my own success because I don't feel I'm deserving of it. So I want you to understand that it's something that everybody deals with. But until you look at how you're in your own way, how you're repeating cycles, how your habits are in the way, you can't get out of your own way. And the universe wants you to get out of your own way and wants you to know that you are so guided, so protected, so loved, that you are capable of doing the things that you don't think that you can do. You're capable of having the things that you don't think that you can have. But you don't believe that, so there's a part of you that's pushing them away before even giving yourself the opportunity to have them. And I can say that coming from this place of I get it. I've absolutely been there. There is never any judgment in my readings. This is not a message of judgment. This is a message of bringing into your awareness the ways that you might be sabotaging your own happiness because you don't think you can have it, which is natural. It's a normal part of being a human. 95% of our movements, choices, and decisions stem from our subconscious. Only 5% of the way that we interact with our reality is actually conscious level thinking. So if we have this subconscious built on beliefs such as I'm unlovable, I'm not good enough, I'm a failure, whatever the case might be, we're going to act from those beliefs without even really realizing it, which is why bringing it into our awareness is so important. And like I said, right now is a time to get really in touch with yourself so that you can change the way that you're approaching your life so that you can change your life and get to the place that you want to be. Current energy for Aquarius. What does Aquarius need to know about their current energy? Yeah. King of Swords here. Here you are with the Lovers in reverse. Aquarius, you don't believe you're deserving of the things that you ultimately want. Now, your first instinct might be like, yes, I do. I know I'm deserving. I know I'm deserving of good things. I get a lot of people that are like, I'm 70-something years old. Of course I know I'm deserving. Your age and what you've come to learn about the world doesn't determine what is within you, right? We don't realize how much our belief systems that sit within us control our reality. And they are not your fault. Your trauma, the things that you have been through that have taught you that you're not good enough, you're not lovable, you're not deserving, those things are not your fault. You didn't deserve those things that happened to you. But when we go through like shitty situations enough, we do start to believe that we are deserving of them. we start to believe that that's as good as it can get. We start to believe that we can't have anything better. And then those beliefs start to come out in our actions. When you break down the law of attraction, your thoughts become your beliefs, become your actions, become your reality. What you think about, what you tell yourself over and over again becomes what you believe. What you believe about yourself becomes how you act becomes what you create. So if you believe I'm not good enough, I'm undeserving, I'm not capable because of what your experiences have told you, what other people have told you through their words or their behavior or their treatment, you have come to believe about yourself because you are a human being and that is natural, okay? But now you are being asked to step outside of that and decide for yourself today what you're deserving of, regardless of your past, regardless of what you've been through, regardless of what you've experienced. What are you deserving of? What are you capable of? And if you can't honestly answer, like, I'm deserving of good things, take a look at that. It took me a really long time. I spent a very, very long time in my life believing I wasn't deserving of good things because I wasn't perfect, because of mistakes I had made, because of ways that I had treated people poorly in the past when I didn't know better, because of ways that I allowed my hurt to hurt other people. I spent a lot of time believing I wasn't deserving of good things because of those things. And it wasn't until I learned that that was all just part of my journey. It was part of my growth. It was part of the process of becoming who I was always meant to be. And I had to, work through guilt and shame, sure. But eventually I was able to heal those things, understand myself from this place of compassion, change my behavior, which is a necessary part of growth. And now I know that I'm a different person now, so I don't have to hold my current self accountable to whatever my past self had done, because that was, that person at the time, I've learned to understand, was doing whatever they could. I was doing whatever I could to protect myself, to keep myself safe, even though what I was doing wasn't actually what's best for me. So, coming from a place of compassion, I want you to ask yourself, if my life is a reflection of what I deserve, of what I think I deserve, and this life that I'm living is not what it is that I ultimately desire, then what part of me doesn't think I'm deserving of good things? What part of me doesn't think I'm deserving of abundance, of love, of success, of support, The more that you can get honest with yourself about that, start looking within at those things, the more that you are going to start to uncover the root of why you aren't living the life that you truly desire, and how you can overcome those things so that you can live the life that you truly desire, because you can. You are supported, you are protected, you are loved, the universe has your back, but you need to know that in order to create that. What does Aquarius need to know regarding their current energy? Yeah, my God, all of these cards are in reverse. I mean, you have the Seven of Wands in reverse. This is a lack of, this isn't trusting yourself. Not trusting your capabilities, not trusting your deservingness, not trusting how supported you are. And the Three of Wands here is saying, in order to create the life that you're looking for, you're going to have to step outside of your comfort zone. But you got to trust yourself in knowing that you can do it. And I feel like I'm talking to an Aquarius that life has kicked them down one too many times. So I don't want you to think that this is me talking. I don't feel like I'm talking to a collective that any of their behavior isn't justified, because I absolutely think that you could look back and say, I've been through so much hell. I'm tired. I'm tired of picking myself back up. I'm tired of starting over. I'm tired of doing the best that I can and getting nothing for it. I get it. I absolutely get it. But the universe is asking you to understand that it's not about what you do, right? It's not about the action that you're taking or the way that you've been controlling your experiences. It's about figuring out what's going on within you and healing the root of those things, because that's where the holdup is. That's where the blockage is. That's what's been keeping you from where it is, from your power, really. It's what's been keeping you from understanding that you are a force to be freaking reckoned with, Aquarius, but you have lost a lot of that power because of what you've been through. And now I feel like is a time to kind of taking it back, taking your power back, taking your life back in a way. From experiences, from things that had happened to you, from people who have hurt you, and saying, this doesn't have control over me anymore, because I'm not that person. I've healed, I've grown, I've evolved, and now I'm going to step into my power as this person and start to create a different life for myself, because I don't have to experience the same life as I did before, because I'm not that person anymore. That's what I feel you're needing to really focus on in your current energy, is understanding that what you've been through, and this has kind of been a collective theme recently, but your past and what you've been through and what you've experienced is absolutely no indication of where you can go. You are not what has happened to you. You are who you choose to become. And you are being given an opportunity by the universe in this moment to choose, who do you want to become? What do you want to experience? If you knew it was impossible to fail and you could have whatever you wanted in this world, and I'm not talking about $1 million and a lavish lifestyle, but what do you want to feel? You want to feel loved, successful, supported, abundant. What do you want to feel? Because all of those things are possible. I promise. But you've got to believe that. Because I feel like, I don't know. I just feel like I'm talking to a collective that needs to believe that they are worthy of more than they're experiencing, so that you can go out and freaking get that life for yourself. All right, what does Aquarius need to know moving forward? And know that your path is protected. Whatever, the universe put a dream in your heart, it put it there for a reason. Your path is protected. Immediate future for Aquarius, please. Okay. Because these things that you were chasing, maybe still are a little bit, didn't work out, you've been stuck in this disappointment. And there's this idea that you're never going to heal. It's like this idea that you're never going to overcome these things, that things are never, you're never going to be as good as you could have been if things would have gone differently. The universe wants you to know that you will heal. If you focus on your healing, you will heal. Healing's a lifelong journey, but specifically from these situations, you will heal. You will overcome them. You will get to the other side of them. The more you chase, and again, I don't think, this isn't a reading that I think people are going to want to hear necessarily, but I do think that it's a reading regarding truths that people, someone out there, I don't know, needs to hear. But the more you chase and try to force what isn't meant for you, the more disappointed you are going to be. Because you are going to find yourself almost proving to you these beliefs that you're not worthy, good enough, capable, lovable, all these things that are ultimately the foundation of the chasing energy. Because chasing is coming from this place of fear. It's saying, I don't think that I'm ever going to be able to have what I need, or I'm never going to be safe or loved if things don't go this way. So you force it and you chase it because you think you have to make it work, because if you don't make it work, then nothing good is ever going to take its place. And the universe wants you to know that is absolutely not true. You are capable and deserving of having everything that you desire in this life. It might not look the way that you think it will. It might not be with that person. It might not be on that path. It might not be that specific outcome. But the feeling associated, feeling like you are in a relationship with the perfect person for you, feeling like you are unconditionally loved, feeling as if you are financially free, all of those things, those are possible. It's just that there's this need to detach from how you think you need to get there and understand that just because they didn't happen or aren't happening the way that you think that they should have doesn't mean that they're not happening, because they absolutely are. That's something I can absolutely relate to. There's so many reverse cards, literally all but one. I guess all three of those are upright. I went through this phase in my life where I say it was a period of time where my life fell apart, but it absolutely was. But the purpose of it was so things could fall together in a way that was literally beyond what I even imagined was possible. But when I was going through that period, I completely gave up on myself. I fell back into old patterns and old habits and old relationships, and it was like I had never even started my healing journey. And I did that out of fear, because the part of me was like, well, if things aren't going to work out, then why the hell should I even try? And then I don't remember what social media platform it was on. I don't remember who it was. I remember absolutely nothing about it, except for the fact that it was this person. I don't even remember if it was a male or female. I don't remember anything about it, but I remember it was this person, and they said, you know that you are healing when you go through a phase of falling backwards into old patterns and into old behaviors, because sometimes we have to go backwards to move forward. So if that's you and you feel like you've taken steps backwards, or you feel like you've sabotaged something for yourself, or you feel like you've made mistakes or whatever the case is, don't look at that as, wow, I've ruined my life or I've ruined my opportunity, because that isn't true. Sometimes we have to go backwards to go forwards, and sometimes we have to repeat cycles to learn that our happiness doesn't exist there. So this isn't a reading of trying to get you to feel bad or anything like that. But I do feel like it's a little bit of a wake-up call in a sense for some of you to say, like, you have more power over your life, but it's not going to just, your happiness, your abundance, your fulfillment, it's not going to just happen to you. It's something that you happen to. You take your power back, and you create that life with that power. But right now I feel like you're really, really doubting yourself and doubting that power, understandably so because of what you've been through. But, Phoenix rising from the ashes kind of energy, the burning has to happen. Now is the time to rise. Now is the time to rise from the ashes, to pick yourself back up. And you might be like, man, I have done that a million times. Pick yourself back up one last time and put your best foot forward, and you might take yourself further than you even imagine that you can go. This is a very specific reading. I don't know who the hell I'm talking to, but feels like a small collective. All right, immediate future for Aquarius. There you are. The King of Swords with the King of Cups and the Ten of Cups. It says, learning to balance, and the King of Swords can be you, whether you're male or female, it doesn't matter, but the King of Swords coupled with the King of Cups to me has always been a message of learning to find this balance between your head and your heart. Learning to balance logic and emotion. Learning to come from this place of, I know what I'm deserving of, and also I know what my value is, so I show up with what other people are deserving of. I feel like as you move forward, there's a need to get out of your head, and get a little bit more into your heart, into your soul, into your intuition, your connection to yourself, your connection to your spiritual guidance. Because I feel like that's where the answers that you're looking for are going to lie. You're very in your head right now, which is what is kind of keeping you stuck with where you're at and not moving you forward to where you want to be. But look at the Ten of Cups. This is what's possible for you. Your Ten of Cups is showing up in your immediate future. This is emotional fulfillment. This is what you're looking for. Okay, this still exists ahead of you. It's not behind you. Didn't exist back here. What existed back here is the Two of Wands in reverse. What didn't align with you. In your future, you have the Ten of Cups. You have what it is that you're deserving and desiring of. But you're going to need to step into your power a little bit more in order to create it. And ultimately, that comes with taking your power back. When we go through situations where we're treated poorly, it is so hard for us to think that we're deserving of good things. And I get that. Like, I've been there, but and I'm not saying all of our paths are the same, but we're all way more connected than we realize, and we're all experiencing a lot of similar kind of things than we realize. So I want you to know that, like, you're not alone. You are deserving and capable of all the things that you desire, and it's showing up in your future here. There's just a need to understand that your belief in being able to create that is going to completely determine whether or not you can. One more for Aquarius' immediate future. I mean, there's the Nine of Pentacles too, but the Judgment in reverse. The need to see the truth behind what's really going on. The Judgment in reverse is kind of this card of, to me, like, seeing beyond the circumstances, seeing beyond what happened, what someone did to you, how something impacted you, and trying to look at the deeper truth, the deeper lesson associated, which can be really hard when we go through really tough things. But that's where you take your power back, is when you look at things that you've been through and you say, how did this happen for me? Not why did this happen to me, but how did this happen for me? And that mindset shift can take you to places that are unimaginable for you, because it allows you to no longer look at yourself from this place of life is happening to me, everything is out of my control, and if I don't have control, then bad things are going to happen. And it shifts your perspective from this place of everything is happening for a reason. The universe is always supporting me towards my highest good, and if things didn't work out as I thought that they would, then what is this trying to teach me? How can I grow? How can I evolve? What can I learn? And how can I take that and apply it to my life so I can create something different? This reading is very much one of those, like, It's all happening for you, not to you. But I feel like I always have to be cautious when I say that, because that is, that has to actively be a choice. You have to be willing to look at some of the worst things that have ever happened to you and say, how can I improve my life and the lives of others because of this experience? But when we're able to do that, we start to find purpose in our pain. We start to transmute these horrible, awful experiences that we've been through into something good and into love. And that's really ultimately what this whole journey is about, is kind of transmuting fear and trauma and pain into love. So love for yourself and love for others. Okay, we're going to hop on over to the extended. I am going to dive deeper into this messages, focusing on the answer, or the question, what can you do right now to ensure you're moving forward in alignment with your higher self? Aquarius, you have so much good available for you, available to you, and the universe wants you to know that you're very supported toward those things, and wants you to, kind of step into your power here to start to do what you need to do to take steps towards those. Now, if I'm speaking to a collective that has been doing their best at that, I want you to know that the best that you can do is good enough. Okay, this isn't a message of saying you're not doing enough. This is a message of saying, look deep within, be honest with yourself, and saying, am I showing up for myself in the best way that I can? And if the answer to that is yes, then know that you are doing enough. All right. Thank you, as always, Aquarius, for your support of my channel. I do hope that this reading helped and resonated with you in a way that you were needing today. And as always, Aquarius, I wish you nothing but love and healing on your journey moving forward. All right. Bye, Aquarius.